Kardashians or the Markles are lying. I think Meghan Markle is full of hot. I don't believe a word that she says. She's a garbage person. She just...
So Meghan and Harry don't want the association with the flashy cashy, with the overtly American, and also they're supposed to appear...
Only Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, I swear, could walk into a party and somehow make the whole evening about themselves. The latest scandal circling that royal-turned-Hollywood duo comes straight out of Kris Jenner's birthday bash. Yes, that same one everyone's been whispering about. Pictures were allegedly taken down, and there's even talk of some mysterious consent form that apparently doesn't even exist. Chile. When it comes to drama, these two never disappoint.
At Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party, she would have known of Harry's deep and personal connection to Remembrance Day, Kinsey.
So here's what went down. The momager herself, Kris Jenner, threw her birthday party at Jeff Bezos' mega mansion in Beverly Hills. Now picture this. Actors, musicians, tech billionaires, A-listers, and guess who strolls in? Yup, the Duke and Duchess of drama themselves, Meghan and Harry.
Matriarch. What can you tell us about this?
Well, apparently this friendship between Serena Williams and the Bezos family and the Jenners is dating.
Now, honey, when you hear Kardashians, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Scandal, chaos, headlines. It's their entire brand. So why on earth would this royal couple, the same people who claimed they were fleeing all that royal spotlight and messy media drama, show up at a Kardashian party of all places? I mean, really, make it make sense.
Kris Jenner, you know, Kim Kardashian's mum, to her 70th birthday party. This birthday party is hosted.
Their presence there screamed hypocrisy louder than a paparazzi camera flash. These two love to talk about authenticity and mental health, but every pose, every smile, every wave of the hand tells another story. One minute they're preaching about social media dangers, the next they're clinking glasses with the very tech moguls who built those addictive apps, and word on the street is that even Mark Zuckerberg himself was in the crowd.
This footage includes supposedly private and intimate moments where, good heavens, there's actually a professional photographer there to snap this private moment, and then they snuck in a photographer to...
They always act like the press is their sworn enemy, claiming journalists are weapons crafted to destroy them, and yet they can't resist jumping in front of every single camera lens they see. Every party, every red carpet, they're there, staying relevant while still holding on to titles gifted by the very monarchy they claim to despise. Tell me how that works, sweetheart. It's just plain contradictory. Their words never match their actions. They lecture parents about keeping kids offline, yet Meghan's the first to parade the children when it suits her brand. She wants sympathy, fame, and freedom all at once. But the world doesn't play that game, darling. It sees right through it. Now, while those two were busy sipping champagne under Beverly Hills chandeliers alongside Beyoncé, Paris Hilton, and Adele, something far more important was happening back home. Remembrance Day in the UK. A day to honor fallen heroes. A sacred moment for the royal family. But instead of commemorating it, Harry was out partying, and Meghan, she couldn't even be bothered to wear a poppy. Can you imagine? And when people asked why she didn't, her excuse, Lord help me, was that they don't have poppies in the US? Really, Meghan? You've worn one before in Montecito, so we know you could have found one if you wanted to. The truth? She just didn't care. Even the royal family was said to be furious. That day means everything to them, and here were Meghan and Harry treating it like some regular weekend to network with Hollywood elites. It's the ultimate slap in the face. Disrespectful, tone-deaf, and just plain shallow. Royal insiders are fuming, calling it one of the biggest missteps of their lives. And you know what really gets me? They didn't even bother to sneak in quietly through the back door like other big celebrities. No, ma'am. They had to make a grand entrance. Cameras flashing, eyes on them, the whole 9 yards. Because when it comes to attention, those two can't help themselves. Then came the messiest part of all. The photo drama. People noticed that the pictures of Meghan and Harry posted by the Kardashians and Kris Jenner suddenly disappeared from Instagram. Oh, you know that sent the rumor mill on fire. Some claimed that the couple had ticked no on a photo consent form before the party, but other insiders said those forms never even existed. TMZ even chimed in saying no consent was needed because it was an intimate friends-only party. Please. At this point, the whole thing looked like damage control on steroids. The rumor now is that Meghan and Harry panicked after realizing how bad it looked to party, while the royals back home were honoring soldiers, so they rushed to have the photos deleted before the British press caught wind of it. But baby, that only made it worse. The deletions made it obvious that something was wrong and that they knew it. Meanwhile, back in the UK, even Prince William was said to be livid. If he wasn't already thinking about stripping their titles before, this surely pushed him closer. Because how many times can you humiliate the crown and still expect to be called Duke and Duchess? Insiders are calling it a royal screw-up of epic proportions. And you know what made this whole thing explode even more? That viral rant from Kennedy on live TV? Lord, that clip spread like wildfire when she called Meghan a garbage person. It was harsh, but people ate it up because deep down, many folks were already feeling the same frustration. It hit a nerve that's been building for years. The contradictions, the hypocrisy, the constant victimhood paired with lavish living. Because let's be honest, for years, Harry and Meghan have been saying one thing and doing the complete opposite. Kennedy's rant wasn't random. It was the explosion that comes after too much buildup. You look at Harry now and you see a man who's drifted so far from his roots that it's almost sad. He used to be the fun, relatable royal, the soldier, the joker, the heart of the people. Now he's this angry, memoir-writing, Hollywood-lurking shell of himself. And that book, Spare, phew, if you ask me, it did more damage than good. He claimed he wrote it to heal, not for revenge. Please. Every page felt like a public therapy session gone wrong. He spilled every royal secret, even claimed William physically attacked him over Meghan. It was messy, unnecessary, and honestly beneath a prince. Now he says he wants to reconcile with his family. But after that, tell all good luck, darling. Even his own father, King Charles, was reportedly begging the brothers not to make his life a misery. But those wounds run deep, and every Hollywood appearance just makes them worse. Then came Bethany Frankel, stirring the pot even more. She spilled that when she spoke to Meghan's ex-husband, Trevor Engelson. She asked if Meghan would close the deal with Prince Harry, and Trevor allegedly said, "She'll close." Honey, that one comment said everything. Meghan had her eyes on royalty long before the palace ever knew her name. Rumors even say she had a vision board filled with royal dreams and photos. Child, that's not manifestation. That's a mission. And remember when Harry himself once said, "What Meghan wants, Meghan gets?" Well, here we are. She wanted fame, power, titles, and she got them all. But at what cost? Hollywood sees through it too. In those elite circles, reputation is everything. And the Sussexes? Let's just say their reputation is tarnished beyond repair. Even A-listers don't want to be caught in their PR storms. You can almost hear people whispering, "Don't invite them. They'll make it about themselves." And it's so ironic because the Kardashians, for all their drama, at least own who they are. Their brand is built on scandal and confessionals, not pretending to be royal martyrs. When you walk into their party, you know exactly what you're signing up for. Cameras, gossip, and chaos. So what were Harry and Meghan doing there? You can't say you want privacy while posing for paparazzi with Kris Jenner. It just doesn't add up. And to make it even worse, they did all this on Remembrance weekend, a time meant for solemn reflection, not Hollywood networking. Harry should have known better. This is a man who built his legacy on military service, on honoring veterans. Instead, he's toasting with celebrities while his brother and father stand in silence before war memorials. If that's not heartbreaking, I don't know what is. So when Kennedy looked into that camera and called Meghan a garbage person, it hit people like a gut punch. Some gasped, others cheered, but everybody was talking because it was raw, it was brutal, and it was what many were thinking but too afraid to say out loud. She said, and I quote, "Meghan Markle is full of hot air. I don't believe a word she says. She is a garbage person who just loves to ruin families." Whoa. Talk about a mic drop moment. That clip went so viral that even people who never follow royal news were sharing it, because it wasn't just about one woman, it was about years of frustration boiling over. The public is tired of the double standards, tired of the "we're victims" story while they fly private jets and cash Netflix checks, tired of hearing lectures about compassion from people who throw shade at their own families, and tired of being told they should understand Meghan when she clearly has no interest in understanding anyone else. At this point, even Prince William's patience seems to have run dry. He can forgive many things, but not the betrayal of family and duty. That's why sources believe that if he ever becomes king, he'll quietly erase their royal titles once and for all, because every time Harry and Meghan chase Hollywood fame, they drag the monarchy down with them. They wanted a modern royal fairy tale, but what they created is a soap opera, one that even the Kardashians would find too dramatic. And now, after Kennedy's rant, that spotlight is brighter and harsher than ever, because when you strip away the glamour, the titles, and the PR, what's left is a couple desperate to stay relevant in a world that's moved on. And let's not pretend this is the first time they've been caught in their own contradictions. No, ma'am, this is a pattern. A whole lifestyle of saying one thing and doing another. Every time they promise a quiet, private life, they're suddenly on a red carpet or some podcast or a docuseries telling the world how miserable the royal life was, all while wearing designer outfits worth more than a small house. It's the hypocrisy for me. At this point, people aren't angry, they're exhausted. The same, "we just want peace" speech doesn't hit like it used to. Not when they're popping up at billionaire parties, gossiping with Kris Jenner, and acting like Hollywood royalty while still clutching the titles they claim to hate. That's not privacy, darling. That's a PR tour with a royal seal. And you know what makes it even sadder? They could have had it all: respect, dignity, a new start. But instead, they've turned themselves into walking contradictions. Meghan could have been a voice for change, a modern bridge between worlds. Instead, she's become the very thing she once said she couldn't stand: a tabloid headline. Kennedy's viral outburst may have been harsh, but it was real. It was raw. And it was everything people had been whispering for months but never dared to say out loud. Meghan's whole victim-turned-visionary act has worn thin. Folks see through it now: the crocodile tears, the Hollywood glamour, the speeches about authenticity while the cameras roll. Harry's stuck somewhere between two worlds, one that no longer accepts him and another that only tolerates him for his title. And deep down, you can see it on his face. He doesn't look happy, just lost, like a man who traded a crown for chaos and can't figure out how to go back. So here we are, Meghan under fire, Kennedy's words echoing across the globe, and the world watching the so-called power couple stumble again. Maybe this time they'll learn that fame without truth is fragile, and you can't build a legacy on contradictions. Because, darling, no matter how fancy the mansion or how shiny the title, when you lose the world's respect, that's a price no royal can afford.